Hello everyone, this is Sunny, and I'm coming to you with You'll Learn to Love Me, a Yandere Masky X-Reader by FluffyWubs. We're going to be starting off with Chapter 38. I'm back! Toby cheerfully slammed the door open to his room, meeting with the other two proxies on the bed. Masky wasn't asleep yet, surprisingly, and Hoodie was another story. The orange-hooded male jolted up from his spot due to the loud sound of the door and groggily squinted his eyes at the youngest of the three. Hoodie plopped back down once he realized there was no danger nor threat and huffed. Masky simply glared at the twitching teen, a scowl forming onto his lips. Where'd you go? Masky dug his nails in his arms to contain his bottled-up frustration. He was almost scared of the answer he was going to get. Toby chuckled, shutting the door behind him as he went over to his bed to sit on the edge of his mattress. Nowhere special, Toby hummed, taking off his goggles along with his mouthguard. Toby let out a relaxed sigh as he let himself fall onto his bed, folding his arms behind his head. Just paid a special girl a little visit. Toby snickered, closing his eyes. Toby heard shuffling coming from Masky's bed, making him just peek with one eye. Masky looked stiff, his eyebrows were furrowed, and he didn't seem happy at all. What the fuck did you do? He sneered, scratching his arms even more in irritation. Toby grinned, knowing Masky couldn't do anything to harm him with Hoodie constantly watching. Don't worry, I didn't touch her. I barely laid a hand on her, Toby admitted, shuffling a bit in his bed to get more comfortable. I just told her a few things here and there, nothing else, the teen stated nonchalantly. Masky abruptly stood up, his fingers twitching in eagerness to wrap themselves around the teen's throat and suffocate him. Hoodie immediately took notice and got up from his bed, hurrying over to Masky before he'd do any real harm. All right, man, time for your pills. Hoodie ushered Masky out of the room to prevent an accident. I didn't really do anything after the encounter. What could I even do? Exactly, absolutely nothing. I was confused and frightened last night, but that didn't stop me from falling asleep. But since I fell asleep so late, I also woke up later than usual. I slept through breakfast and pretty much almost half of the day. I didn't even wake up from Helen entering the room. He's been here for quite some time, apparently. A bit uncomfortable knowing that he's been just next to me while I was sleeping, but okay. All I've done today was just watch TV while Helen did his usual routine of drawing in his sketchbook. I didn't feel like drawing, so I passed that up for once. Now that I think about it, with Helen here, I could ask him for some more information regarding the encounter with Toby. I'm not going to tell him Toby was here, of course, just going to ask confirmation about the things he said. Hey, Helen? I ask. His eyes never leave the paper, but he gives a sign that he's listening to me by a soft questioning hum. How well do you know Masky? I assume he knows some decent info. Not very well, he replies, to my surprise. Well, that's no help, but maybe, just maybe he knows something. Have you ever heard about him doing things to females, like forcing them to do things? I couldn't contain the fear in my tone of voice, but it's painfully obvious I'm scared to know the answer. Helen slowly puts his sketchbook down in his lap, locking his deadpan eyes with mine. I've heard about that, he states. I've never seen it myself, but rumors go around that he keeps girls as slaves or something. With a shrug of his shoulders, he returns his attention back to the sketchbook, while after flexing his fingers for a bit. Rumors? Is there some kind of high school clique of murders now? God, so it is true. I need someone to confirm this, damn it. It could be. I wouldn't be surprised if it were true, he says. I turn back to look down to my lap. What Toby said just might be true. I mean, why wouldn't I believe him in the first place? What do I have to lose? Good morning, Mayan. I nearly jump out of my skin when the door to my room is suddenly swung open and Samantha practically skips in. She looks more chipper than usual. Or should I say good afternoon? She giggles, walking over to my bed. I smile. Her positive energy is just passing on to me. You seem happy, I point out. She nods her head. I'm finally allowed to take a few days off after today. I've been working non-stop, she smiles. A break, huh? Good for her. She probably needs it. I'll probably not see her for a while then, but at least she'll get some rest. That's great. I hope I don't give you lots of work today, I joke, knowing it was most likely time for my walking lessons. How I like to call it. Samantha snickers as I remove the covers from my lap. You always give me the least amount of work, Ryan. She grins as I swing my legs out of bed. I place my feet on the ground, patiently waiting as Samantha takes a few steps back to give me some space. Anyway, did you hear anything from the guy with the cat yet? She asks as I force myself to balance on my feet. I wobble a bit, keeping my hands on the edge of the bed for extra safety measures. Not really, no, I respond along with a frown. Samantha plants her hands on her hips and clicks her tongue. Yikes. Well, I hope it works out between you and him, Samantha states. Helen briefly looks up from a sketchbook before looking back down, and I let out an agreeing hum before taking cautious steps towards Sam. It feels surprisingly a bit easier to walk since yesterday, and it looks like there's a little bit of improvement. Samantha holds her hands in front of her chest just in case I trip over my feet or suddenly lose all strength in my legs, and to my surprise, I managed to take steps, actual steps, towards Samantha without tripping or wobbling. Hell, even she looked surprised. "Your legs are a lot better, aren't they?" she asks, taking a quick glance down to my legs. I smile proudly. "Yeah, thank goodness," I laugh a bit. "How about we walk through the halls a bit for a change?" Samantha suggests, throwing her thumb over her shoulder to point at the door. I agree with a nod, and sounds a good way to practice walking in a bigger space. While walking through the hall, Cece decided to join us. She seemed very excited by the fact that I was walking normally again, or, well, making progress. She skipped next to me, holding my hand on her little one, and she seemed to be very close to Samantha as well. No wonder, who wouldn't want to be friends with Sam? She's great at her job and a great person. "Ricky came to visit me today." Cece beams as she skips along with us. "Man, everyone seems so cheerful today and makes me happy." "Really? That's great, honey." Samantha smiles brightly, clasping her hands together while looking at the little girl next to me. Cece's brown eyes light up brightly. "Yeah, he came in the morning before school. His mom even gave me a bunny plushie." She giggles joyfully. I smile. How adorable. "That's so nice of her," I state, lightly squeezing her tiny hand. She happily agrees with a nod, her chestnut hair bouncing on and off her shoulders as she keeps on skipping. "Oh, and my friend came last night, too." Cece beams. "Ah, her friend. The one who keeps coming during the last minutes of visiting time, apparently." "So that's why I heard giggling coming from your room last night," Samantha playfully teases, making little Cece giggle shyly. "She has a stuffed animal, too, but hers isn't a bunny, it's a bear." Cece explains excitedly, as if reliving the moments of when she was with her friend. I look down to Cece, seeing her smile from cheek to cheek filled me up with joy. How can a little girl be so happy all the time? Well, that's children's magic, or whatever. Being so lost in thoughts, I didn't even realize someone walking up ahead in the hall. I bumped into them, almost losing balance on my feet if it weren't for Samantha to quickly take hold of my arm to keep me steady. I was ready to apologize to whoever I bumped into. I need to stop spacing out so much. I shift my gaze up, meeting with a pair of vibrant green orbs. "Sorry, Lion." The male smiles. I was at a loss of words for a few seconds. I felt a bit awkward, enough to make me choke on my words. Cece took the lead, though. "Hello, Lou." The little girl flashes a bright smile at the tall male in front of her. It's surprising how she still remembers his name. "Hey, kid." Lou smiles. Samantha glances over to me, noticing my stiffened posture before letting go of my arm with a smile. "Hey, I'll be right back, okay? Good luck." She flashes me a smile, giving my shoulder a quick pat before walking further down the hall. I swallow anxiously, quickly averting my gaze from his. Lou clears his throat, fixing the backpack strap on his shoulder. "You're walking by yourself, huh?" He smiles sheepishly. I shyly keep my eyes away from him and nod silently, and I hear him shuffle in a spot uncomfortably before sighing. "Can I talk to you for a bit?" he asks. I look down to Cece, who's completely oblivious to what's going on. I'm gonna drop her off at her room first, and meet me back at my room," I utter out, quickly turning my back towards him. "Yeah, okay, see you there," I hear him say before I walk away from him with Cece still holding my hand. She stopped skipping, maybe because she was too tired to do so. "Hey, are you okay? Your hand is very sweaty," Cece comments, looking at my hand. "And shaky," she adds. I glance down at my hand. She's right. I gulp, nodding my head before reassuringly smiling. "Yeah, I'm okay," I reassure her. She pouts her little lips. "Hey, if he's giving you a bad time, I can beat him up for you, and my friend will help," she exclaims bravely and in a confident tone. I laugh lightly. Don't worry. Lou's a nice guy," I giggle. Cece relaxes a bit more than before, but still lets out a huff. "Good, I don't want to hurt him. I'm too strong for him anyway," she giggles, making me laugh even more. After dropping Cece back in her room, I returned back to mine. Helen was still in a seat while Lou silently sat on the opposite side. Lou's hands were tucked in his pockets as his foot lightly tapped the floor impatiently, or nervously, I couldn't tell. The moment I stepped in, Lou immediately perked his head up, and he stood up from his seat and fixed his jacket over his body. "Can we talk outside?" he asks me, glancing over to Helen in a quick way. I purse my lips in hesitation, yet still agree and step out of the room. I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous, mostly because of what Toby confessed. Lou follows my trail and shuts the door behind him, sucking in a breath as he does so. I nervously fidget with the end of my shirt, waiting for him to say something. I'm sorry." He finally speaks up. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable or anything. I just lost it yesterday. He rubs the back of his head nervously. I know he means well, but I don't really want to be near him after what I've heard. Not only did he lie about his girlfriend, but he lied to me as well. It's fine, I blurt out too quickly. Lou blinks, staring at me after my quick response. Shoot, did I sound overly fearful? That wasn't my intention. I'm going to get back inside, I quickly state. And just as I was about to place my hand on the handle of the door, Lou suddenly grabs my wrist and prevents me from opening the door. My breath hitches in my throat out of surprise. What is wrong with you? Lou, or rather, Sully, asks firmly. Nothing, please let go, I stammer. Sully glances down at my trembling hand and narrows his eyes. I didn't mean to kiss you, alright? Don't be like this. Sully frowns, tightening his grip around my wrist. I said it's fine, no, let go. I snap bitterly, raising my voice louder than I should have, even managing to catch other people's attention that were walking down the hall. Lou flinched at my sudden anger before letting go of my wrist, and I let out a shaky breath. I was honestly ready to storm back into my room and hop into bed to forget about all of this, but I would have to face the situation sooner or later, so it might as well be now. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you, I breathe out, lightly pinching the bridge of my nose. Lou somehow still manages to smile. Don't worry about it, he says. Why does he have to be so kind all the time? Lou, I mutter. Lou hums questioningly. Would you ever lie to me? I ask. He seems a bit taken aback by the question before responding. Of course not, he says confidently. I mentally scoff. Sure, that's a lie, isn't it? Still, I force a smile upon my face. Good to know. I'm going back inside. I place my hand on the handle and push it down, pushing the door open. I'll confront him about it sooner or later. That is the end of that chapter. The chapter after that one is chapter 39. Let me know how you guys feel about that, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Until next time, bye-bye.